curriculum on day one.
Recording in progress.
Usually when we run this, we have a curriculum that we follow on day one. We start with what is heat transfer, what is this, what is that, and all that. Day two, we do something else, and we have some worksheets and all that for students to do. This, we're not going to do any of that. Sometime by the end of July or early August, Mr. Stewart will provide you with some curriculum. Our goal for the next 5 days is to equip you to figure on how to troubleshoot and how to build the different schematics, how to read the schematic, how to what have you. And like I mentioned, we are very informal people. As we go through, if there is any question, those of you on Zoom or those of you here have, please let us know. And I think some of you have gone through this with Mrs. Craver or Mr. Macmillan earlier. But as you go through, please, 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 feel free to let us know, okay? Our goal is to try and equip you and help you understand it so you can help students that you teach. So with that, I don't know how much you know about the kits. So I think I'll give each of you a kit. And then we'll pair. Please be careful with the kits in terms of losing parts.
We need to return these.
This is Kate.
On Zoom, gotten kits?
Yeah, I got the kit.
Hey, how do you have your kit?
I got it today.
Yes, and we assembled the kit as well.
Oh,
I got it today, so it's all in
no,
boxes.
we're not expecting you to have assembled it already. So you're ahead of the curve. So you're one of those.
I mean, that's
Remind me of this
student
kid,
job, I
Ian,
think.
who's always
So.
trying to be ahead of the classroom.
Yeah,
But
since
anyway.
it's a summer break, just decided to do that with my daughter, so that instruction guide was really helpful.
Okay.
It was really easy through that
Okay.
instruction guide. So this is what it looks like.
Excellent. So actually we'll use your picture. Can you hold that up? So the first thing we're going to do today is to try and get to where she is. So if you open the kit, you all can open the kit. See this, which you call a map.
So
And-
this, sorry to disturb you. So this is for the convection that we have installed.
That's correct, yeah.
Yes. You might as well. Where is
So the base assembly, the first part, everyone's gonna do steps 1 through 8.
yeah, so even before that, sorry. So with this kit, there are 3 experiments you can set up. The first one is radiation, which is pretty straightforward, which is what you see on the first page. The second one is conduction, and then you have convection. All right? Does that make sense so far? All right. So what we're going to do is first, we're going to do conduction or convection?
Convection.
Convection. The goal of this is, with this kit, it's really plug and play. So you follow this, you plug things in, you connect it to your computer, you're able to get data, blah, blah, blah. That's the first part of it. However, the core of this class is in your kit. Neha, please, you mind lifting it up again? In your kit, Neha, you should see this. Do you see it? By your right-hand side.
We plugged into the Arduino.
Yes. So this is a shield. So what we're going to do for the core of this class is we're going to remove this shield and try and build the circuitry that makes the shield work.
It will look something like this.
The beautiful mess of Mr. Mac and cheese.
No.
All right. So that's the main thing we're going to do the rest of the week. But the first step is to follow this map and complete the convection experiment. And as we mentioned, it's plug and play. So Neha, you're like 30 minutes ahead of us. So don't worry, everyone will catch up in about 30 minutes and we'll go from there.
So Mac, is it possible to spotlight your video for everyone?
Which one? There's three different videos.
The one where you're holding the instruction sheet and your kit. If you could
This-
spot it.
this camera
Yes,
then?
yes, exactly. Thank you.
Right? So for the convection, you can use it, connector. So for the first thing I want you to do is on the first page of the map, go through steps 1 through 8.
Yep.
When you get to step 8, let us know, and then we'll tell you what next to do. And as you go through this, think also as a student, what are some questions students may have that maybe is not very well addressed on the map, so we can modify and get ready for that. Does that make sense?
Okay, is this for level 2 or is it for level 1? Because it
Level-
says
So the thing
it's
is
level
right now,
1.
level 1. However, we use that as a base plate for building off and doing level 2. We start
Okay.
with the level 1 experiment, and then that plus shield that Mr. O mentioned, we take that off and start doing circuitry,
For level
eventually
2.
replacing it for level 2.
Okay,
Yeah, we use the base plate throughout level 1 and 2.
Yeah. All right.
Can we do this on the floor? Cause like,
Absolutely.
we have the entire
We
table
must use the desk.
Can you do it where?
on the floor.
Sure,
Like,
provided you don't lose things. So you have to pair up, we only have 5 kits, so we'll have to pair up, so Rick and Tony can pair up and work together.
Yeah,
As more people show up as well.
Wait, do we have a map?
Oh, that's the one I'm holding.
Too bad. It's
Wait,
ours
Dave
now.
Range, you know how to do it on your own.
Yeah, I do, I just. Oh, really?
Yeah, it's fine. And then sorry.
Look at this.
You know what I mean? Scott, where are you going? And please, as you build questions, what have you, let us know. Just for, especially for those of you here, just be careful not to do that.
For those of you on Zoom, the screwdriver is in the wires or cables box. So inside the long thin cables box, that's where you will find the screwdriver. So. Neha, could you send me your email in chat so that I can send you some libraries that you'll need to put on your computer? You know? Yeah, bottom, middle, and top is currently up there. So you.
Mrs. K, sorry, did you have a question? Sorry, the speaker turned off.
No, not so far. I'm
Okay.
fine. So we're going until 8, until step 8. Oh, how?
Sorry, say that again.
Are we doing only until step 8?
For now, yes.
Okay, so I'm almost done.
Okay. Yes.
All right, I guess I'm done until the 8.
If you're done with step 8,
Yes.
so steps 9 through 13, those are the radiation experiment. We're gonna skip those. We're gonna jump straight to step 14.
14.
14.
All right.
14 through 17, let's say. Those are our convection experiment.
All right. I have a question. That in step 15, there are those two sliding plates at the bottom. So
Yeah.
to which one I connect the bracket?
Either one, it doesn't matter.
Okay, all right, either one. Okay. I guess the sensor, all right, okay. Got it.
You just kind of want to have it slid so that so that the sensor is underneath the heating element.
Yeah, the sensor one, yeah, okay.
Doesn't matter which one you plug into or screw into.
Yeah, okay. All right, so I'm done until 17. So I don't know what now.
All right, if you're done through 17, I think hold tight until everyone is there.
Okay. All right,
Move forward together.
fine. I mean, the convection cover is just sliding, right? There is nothing to secure it there.
Yeah, it just kind of stays on top.
Okay, all right, I wasn't.
Question for the both of you at home. Have you finished with the software prep work from the email?
Nope.
Okay. You did get the email though, yeah?
I will check. The only email I got is for the Zoom, nothing else. Let me check.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I got now. I have it now. It came like right.
All right. Yeah. If you don't have Arduino set up yet, I would do that right now. Because I think we're close to getting ready here.
Okay, so all right, so let me go there.
Yeah, that's cool. I just keep gonna go away. Dude, keep the other one.
Mark,
Yes.
does it matter which way the sensor?
Oh, they just got
What is?
Yeah.
Yeah, both ones.
Here's the thing, I haven't read it.
Hang tight. I think we're close to all being ready.
There it is. Okay,
You just have that kind of held together like this. And just kind of sit on top. Actually, can I borrow your screwdriver? You don't have it.
Most of them slide. Yeah. Mr. Mark, this sensor plates supposed to slide?
What?
Are the sensor plates supposed to slide?
Yeah. This sensor plate should be able to slide.
So.
All right, so which Arduino should I download?
So whichever operating system you have, on that web page, there should be like a green or a teal kind of box.
Oh,
So are you on Mac or Windows?
Can you give me 2 more?
I'm on Mac.
All right, there should just be a button that says Mac OS X in that teal box on that page. Click on that, download that.
Okay, because I had the Arduino IDE and then there is experimental software, so
Yeah.
which one? The first one?
In the very first green.
Very first, okay, all right.
No, pause is so bad. There's songs on there.
Dude, he's so disgrace. Like, how would you
Disgrace to his father.
Yeah.
But he's no, chill out.
What is it? Still?
His first F1 season.
Oh,
I think
really?
he was an F2 before. I don't even know what F2 is.
It's just a level below.
That's irrelevant.
Charles the search whether it is. Aren't there the search?
Shop. I don't know American F1. Oh, they
You are.
are no, we don't. I don't know what schedule I'm having. Well, I figured it out. But 2A and 3A could be switched and then. we can read these also.
What?
Why is it sliding?
What?
It was sliding.
Why is it sliding?
Like, is it or isn't it?
Oh, it's sliding.
It's sliding.
Okay, I got it.
Ooh.
Oh.
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 You really only need 2 of the screws to keep it in place, like this 2 diagonal.
Yeah, I did it.
Now you're 4, bro.
Box, we need the fan.
We don't need the fan right now.
Okay, but which box was it?
You understand?
Great question.
Dude.
No.
Honestly, I don't remember. Just kind of have it on set right now.
Now I'm mad. Now I am mad. Okay. Very satisfactory.
And then also, do we need to do anything with these stickers?
Just leave those on the side for now. Those are for the radiation experiment.
Nice, okay, get good. This, oh. Hey, whoa, why are you, whoa, bro. You're lifting it.
You want to screw it? This is a screw. This one screw into this.
Yeah.
You can't screw into this. So you.
Oh, yeah.
Screw this into here.
So like this.
Keep it on the side.
Yeah.
Just do the other.
Oh, okay, okay. Okay,
You're going this
yeah,
way.
this way, yeah. Ah, no wonder it's hard for you to do this. Oh. Without, the long box. Yeah.
Will we be needing all this packaging and stuff right now?
What?
Will we be needing the packaging and stuff?
Okay. Sorry. Which one?
Yeah.
Really? Wait, Mr. Mark?
Yeah.
This is ceramic, is this going inside
The legs.
That you like me to? So, yeah.
Mr. Moore,
Yes.
the ceramic resistor,
I don't know.
the orientation,
It's fine, I guess.
does it matter this way or like?
You might be able to like.
No. We could either plug.
Not the plugs.
Oh, just like horizontal versus vertical?
Yeah, like, okay, so. See how like this side has a, I don't know what that is.
Oh, you don't know, doesn't matter.
Clamp.
It's gonna be expelling heat is the goal. of that.
Anyway, yeah.
So it doesn't matter what.
I'm a pretty big fan of this.
So it's all the stuff that like when you're making, like trying to imitate the shield.
So. And we're gonna have a circuit board that looks kind of like this to imitate a shield.
What is the shield doing right now?
So right now, it's connecting all of our components to the Arduino board. Inside of the shield, like each of these plugs is gonna connecting to some of these pins that are plugged into.
So it's making the wiring a lot nicer.
Yeah, it's just making all the wiring internal to here instead of having it on the breadboard. So the main thing that we learned is how to do each of the different circuits so that we can replace this with it.
This possibly will work.
We're almost done. Also the-
So,
Like, the person maybe-
I think it works out.
I mean, it was that.
kind of hold them together, clamp them together with a little cinchy, and then just put it on top.
I just thought.
That's fine.
Mr. Matt,
Yeah. Yes.
Why does this piece need to be like
What?
this piece need to be like?
So that we can have it either further apart or underneath the heat element. But for different experiments, like the radiation one, we kind of want separate. For this one, we want it directly into the middle. Okay.
Yeah, now we should. Sure. Is there a way to like, is it if we could get a better?
All right, we are going to move into the running the experiment portion of our day. You guys at home get the software set up?
Turns off by itself.
It's unmuted.
I'm saying
Oh,
the
that
speaker
turns off.
turns off by itself.
Got it. I'm using a stupid thing. Can't relate. Okay. Well,
Mrs. K and Neha, do you have the software set up?
I do, but I just realized that my laptop does not have UBS port.
that is
I
problematic.
will have to get the connector, so I don't know if I will be able to run this.
Okay. Well, I'll walk through what it looks like, and the recording will be available.
Okay,
So you
great,
can-
because
you can-
yep, I don't have,
Yeah.
cannot connect this.
All right,
What about you, Neha? All set?
Yes.
Okay.
perfect. All right, so we should all have that radiation experiment code either up on our computer or at least available to us on our computer. Yes?
Yes.
All right.
Code.
I recognize this is called a radiation experiment, and we're going to be running the convection experiment, but that's totally okay. It will work for this. Yeah, go check. So, a very brief rundown of what's happening here. We are including our library, the starter kit control library. That's how we're going to be running our experiment. In Arduino, there are two main functions that have to be created to work: void setup and void loop. In our experiments, we're just going to be using the setup because setup, it runs at the very beginning. Everything inside runs once, and then loop happens. In our experiment, we don't need to do any looping. So we're just gonna not include it. It's just gonna be empty. So in setup, we are initializing our platform. We are getting it ready to run. We have a thing saying, as long as the start button is not pressed, we're just gonna wait. So once we upload the code, we need to actually physically press a button on the kit to actually start running the experiment. After we've pressed the button, the experiment will start. I'm going to have my heater turn on. I'm going to delay for 60 seconds. I'm going to turn the heater off, delay for 60 seconds, and then I'm going to end my experiment. So the names of these functions are all pretty straightforward. You read them, kind of tell you what they're going to be doing. If we were to incorporate the fan, we could use experiment.fan on, fan off, just the same as with the heater. So if your Arduino is plugged into your computer, yes.
Do we change the board that's on the computer? Because right now it's like set to Arduino Mega.
Yes, you absolutely need to do that. So in the tools, you are going to choose a couple of things. First, you want to make sure that your board is the correct kind of board. I have lots of extra boards available on my computer, but you are going to pick Arduino Uno. It should be just one of your options. So tools, your board is going to be on Arduino Uno. And then in port, I don't know why, for on a lot of computers, I've seen it default to like a Bluetooth connection. You want the port selected on the one that says Arduino Uno. So click on that one, make sure it's selected. And then you should be able to actually upload your code. So the buttons up here at the top, the little check mark is called verify. That'll make sure that everything in your program will compile and run. Since I've given you this code, it should all compile and run. Is there a difference between Arduino Uno and Arduino Uno Wi-Fi?
A bunch of them. It's only Arduino Uno.
Pick the Arduino Uno. I don't think
There's
you have
no
Wi-Fi.
Arduino Uno.
There's no Arduino Uno. Weird. I don't know. Pick the one with Wi-Fi.
Okay. Which board?
I have not experienced that before. So just pick the-
Oh, wait, hold on. Check. Go back to what? Why is it great for us? This is the many mishmash on AVR boards. We can access that percent.
So should we try pressing the start button or?
So we have to actually click the upload button.
USB.
That's the little arrow. Once you click that, it should say compiling sketch down here at the bottom.
I got copy error message. Okay, because I'm not plugged in. All right. Okay,
So yeah, if
sorry.
you're not plugged in, it'll say, oh,
Yeah,
you're not
that's
plugged
right.
in.
Yeah, sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, I will have to get connector for tomorrow.
Yeah, and if you've got the port selected incorrectly, or if you've got the board selected incorrectly, it'll also throw its hands up and get angry. So make sure that those settings are picked correctly. It should say done uploading once it's ready.
I don't really have the Wi-Fi.
On your Quest Shield, you should see a few lights lit up. You should see the sensor A and sensor B little LEDs should both be green. That's saying, hey, there is a sensor plugged into both of these ports. There should be a stopped and running LED. The running one should be red. The stop should be red. Running should not be on. When you click the start button, it'll flip, running will turn green, stop will turn off.
Mr.
Yeah.
I tried to set it to Arduino.
So,
and it still works.
If your code is uploaded, if you are ready, make sure that your memory card is in with the contacts facing downward, so that you're actually going to collect data on your SD card. You can click that start button and it will start collecting your data. It'll take about 2 minutes to run. And by about, I mean exactly 2 minutes, because that's what the code says. We're gonna be on for a minute and off for a minute.
How do you know it's ready to start?
So once you've uploaded your code, so your sensor lights are good. Right now it's stopped. It means it's not running. You just click that start button and it will start going. All right, green running light is on. I mean, it is going. So with the radiation experiment, it's a little easier to tell because the heat source is a light, where here the heat source is not going to produce anything visible, but it will produce a lot of heat. So don't touch it.
Did we start it?
Yes, feel free to start it if you are ready.
Wait, Mr. Mac, what lights are supposed to be on?
So your sensor lights should be on. Both should be green, saying, "Hey, we're plugged in."
So
Do we need to,
try elevating that.
all the way down.
to open your monitor? And
You can open a serial monitor. It should show you stuff, but it'll plug in without the serial monitor.
I got an error. Oh, our lights are on, but then there was an error. That's weird.
Yeah, there's a weird thing in
Now
the
it's on.
library. So should we'll click start and it should be good to go.
We'll start at.
Start on the physical start button. The running button.
How's it going, Ron?
Right, turns on. Good to go.
Okay.
That's cool. That's it.
All right. We're all running our experiments.
Yes. Summer, how you doing?
serial monitor can weird stuff.
Yeah, this, what's the rate?
Like, I
So
don't
I
know.
think we should move tomorrow, maybe a little later. We're gonna be here again.
Maybe like, yeah, maybe half an hour.
Maybe it's 4, like 4 to 5, yeah. Wait, what day your teeth? Oh, what day you're on a teeth?
Bro.
I improved so far.
Yeah, it's showing you the current sensor readings. So if you click start, it'll show you the sensor readings.
What?
It'll tell you.
Sorry.
I'm
I'm tired, bro.
Yeah.
Welcome back. I'm like 30.
So, a very handy troubleshooting tool, making sure that things are working correctly, is the serial monitor. While your Arduino is connected to your computer via USB, there is something that you can open up where the Arduino will send messages back to your computer. You can access it with this button up at the top right corner. It's a little magnifying glass, says serial monitor. You click on that,
The Arduino.
a little window should pop up.
Oh,
Or not.
15200. What?
You're sharing just your Arduino.
I see.
Share your desktop.
Sharing my whole screen. Yep. There we go.
Sure.
Or not, please. Can I,
The class already have like.
Where is it?
Let's be able to like start teaching.
is it hidden behind the window?
No. High school, junior high,
That's confusing.
third school, I don't know what the name, that is local.
Please open up serial monitor.
I don't know what the performance is. how many
Okay, that's
students.
weird.
Yeah.
So right now.
Does it automatically send data
I
once
was
it
curious
stops?
is with his high school class,
Say again?
junior
Does it
high.
automatically send data once it stops?
Once it stops running, it should be kind of over. My serial monitor would show up. I would show the right settings to do. Give me one moment to restart my Arduino.
Yeah, 210, 230.
So depending on what day.
Wait, and then what do we do once like the experiment ends?
Yeah.
And then there.
We will get into that in just a moment.
Do we take out the SD card? or-
Yes, you will take out the SD card.
I think to do so.
And we'll collect and read our data.
Should we get like outreach coordinator and like outreach school remote, or like should we like question like how we person like that was in there? Like should we like as always, you know how we have outreach coordinator?
Okay.
That was my main.
I have my serial monitor open. Now, if you open your serial monitor and your characters look like this, that's kind of what to expect right now. There's a setting that we need to change. Down at the bottom, there is this option that says
Challenge.
some number and then BAUD, baud, I don't know how to pronounce it.
When reaching out.
Click on that and then select the 115200 option.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
And that should actually read the data correctly that is coming out of the Arduino. So ideally, yours would not say no SD card connected. I don't have an SD card plugged in right now. But until you start the experiment, it'll just show you your sensor data. Once you click the start button, it will show you your sensor data, what things are on, what things are off. And then the experiment will end and it'll say, turns over, woo! And then you can click the reset button to restart and run it again. Do I have an SD card with any data on it right now? No.
They're using Celsius.
Yes, they are using Celsius. That is the default temperature
We can't make this one. Hopefully we can.
system. So, anyway, I am going to go run and grab a. I don't have an SD card with any data on it. Actually, I'm going to steal someone else's. Just going to borrow it. And... Yeah, give me your SD card.
Sounds like exporting from here.
Yeah.
Where is the
Alrighty. So,
Yeah, that was one of the steps.
I'm going to stop sharing for a minute.
Then as a kid, it was one of the steps.
Your SD card should have come with a little USB stick
I don't know, I don't remember.
to plug it into. You want to make sure that the black side of the SD card is on the same, facing the same way as the text on the USB stick. So the gold side of the SD card and the black side of the SD or the USB stick facing each other. Otherwise, it's not going to read any data.
Say that again, please.
So, the gold side, well, the gold side of the SD card should be facing down. The top of the USB is the side with the text. So you want the gold side facing down. The gold side should not be facing up when you plug it in. So plug it into the back. And I will keep dropping things. And then you can plug that into your computer.
When you get the data. Get the data.
So once you plug that in,
two configurations? So I think there's only two configuration that can. Yeah, it's finding correctly.
Yeah, what is it showing?
all right. So plug it in and you should see some number of files.
I ran mine already.
I've stolen his SD card, so he can't follow along.
That's tough.
So the files that are only 1 kilobyte large, those don't actually have any data in them. I think they just get created sometimes by accident. Disregard those ones. The ones that actually have data are going to be at least 3 kilobytes. So you can use the size to kind of determine which of these files is even real. If you open this up, it's just got a whole bunch of numbers in it, which could be helpful, but looking at it as text is not very useful. What is a more useful way to look at data? With a graph, absolutely. So, unfortunately, in the TXT file format, it's not very easy to create a graph. Notepad and programs like that are not great for graphing. So I'm going to convert this to a different file type that can be opened in a program like Excel or Google Sheets, which are actually good at doing graphing. So I am going to rename my file, and I'm going to change that .txt file extension to a .csv. CSV stands for comma separated values. It's going to say, hey, do you want to change that file type? You say, yes, I would like to change the file type. And that will change the little icon saying this is going to be opened with a different program now. It's no longer going to be opened with Notepad. Now it will be opened with Excel is my default. You can also upload this to Google Sheets if you don't have Excel on your device. So I'm going to open this up.
Upload it again.
Opens in Excel, and wow, it's already a little bit more readable because the things are in their own cells rather than all mushed together. So if I want to actually create a graph in Excel, I'm going to select the columns with the data I want. I'm going to insert, and I'm going to insert a 2D line chart. So at the bottom, we can see the time. Over on the left, we can see our temperature. And we can see our 2 lines. Does that make sense? Is everyone following along? Cool. Okay. Let me know when you have a graph to look at.
Why am I not able to change the type?
All right, so go to your references or file. It's in view. Filing extensions. Hang on. But if you can't see filing extensions, just turn on that setting.
Whenever I do the .csv.
All right, so right now it's named 3.csv.txt. So if you click on view and then filing extensions, go that orange checkbox. One below it. There you go. Now you can see the TXT and replace that with CSV.
Wait, how do you make the graph again?
All right, so you're going to select the columns with the data you want, so B and C.
Okay, actually, go to 2.
And then go to insert. And then I just clicked on the line graph one.
Yeah.
Yep. And then just pick one of the line graphs.
Error. Port 29 is busy. Not sure what that is.
What I always say, when in doubt, turn off one. So if it doesn't work this, try restarting our panel. If that doesn't try restarting the computer. Yeah, I need clear it.
Convert it into like the graph.
Okay. Graphs? Graphs?
That's done.
Okay. You good on graphs at home? How dare you? And obviously, if we're doing this in a classroom setting. Sorry, say it again.
जहाँ पे भी गया तो उसको बात दिखा ले पूछ ले उसको बोल के तेरा रीडिंग्स नहीं है although ये sensor भी दिख तो रहा है.
So Mac,
Yes.
I have a question. So I got the data and I got time, but I did not get any reading for my port A and port B.
Okay, so when you were running, were the lights on sensor A and sensor B?
Yes, they were on.
Yep. Okay.
They were red.
They were red.
They were red. Okay. So if they were red, that means that the sensors weren't plugged in correctly. So one end or the other wasn't plugged all the way in.
Okay. All right.
So try pushing a little harder to click them in. There's a bit of a click thing on both ends, the sensor and the shield.
Do you know how many readings it takes?
1%.
So like when do we stop it though?
It'll stop automatically.
Okay, how long is one?
2 minutes. Just the on.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Isn't this what like you can see the zero plotter, like the same thing, just a lot more zoomed in?
सही है फिर भी
Yes.
तो भी रेड है
तो बोलिए स्टॉक पे रेड दिखता है, ग्रीन कब दिखता है?
so Mac,
Yes.
when does the sensor light turn on green? Because right now my program, it's uploaded, it has stopped, and I took the data from my SD card and my sensors look red. So when does it turn green?
So it should be green as long as the sensors are plugged in correctly. So try hitting the reset button to see if that does anything at all.
No, it's not great. Like you ran the like yours.
Okay, now it turned green. One of the sensors turned green.
Okay. And you're certain that the sensors are fully plugged in on both ends?
नहीं, मत कर.
Yeah.
Yes, they are plugged in. both
Okay.
ends.
एक टर्न हो गया green, दूसरा नहीं हो रहा. देखना है दूसरा.
Could I ask you to try grabbing the other set of sensors? There's, instead of convection, there's a set of conduction sensors. Can you try and plug those in as well? Just like unplug the end from the sensor and try plugging it into that and see if it turns green.
Okay.
Because in the past, I've seen those sensors just not work. So it's possibly just have non-functional sensors.
You remember having gone to a rock?
Yes, we did first.
Oh, see.
Yeah, so you can't see the file name extension.
How do we have the data?
Yeah, you have data. So, yeah, close that. And then go to frame. And then turn on file name extensions. And then replace the TF2 with TF2.
No, are you replacing?
So like right click and say reading.
Yes, yes.
And also like the graph is like really different than yours.
So that is okay.
It doesn't really like. It
This
just,
graph is not exactly what I was expecting, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think what I would normally expect to see would be one going kind of up and then maybe down a little bit and the other one increasing slightly.
Open it
oh,
up.
no, like mine is 2 straight lines.
2 straight lines, all right. You know, different sensors make different things.
When you press insert.
So.
Yeah, so select
Select
2
all of
columns, select B and C,
Like,
or A and B. I said B and C, but,
oh, my bad.
and then insert up, and then the line graph.
Graph like in the Arduino. So.
Next one over, the left,
Oh, so there you go.
and then
This
pick,
one.
yeah. There you go.
Okay.
Yes, let's go. Let's go.
All right, did the other sensors make the light turn green?
How's it going, Joe? Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. Sorry.
Yep.
Good?
Mhm.
Okay, so everyone finished.
We solved the transfer.
Now, obviously what we've done here, we've done very little actual discussion of the science. Clearly, there would be a bit more, what did we think would happen before we actually run the experiment? Which one do we think is going to heat up faster? Which one do we think is going to cool down faster? And then we can actually do some analysis with this graph. We're just going to brush over that right now because science. We're also almost out of time for today. So,
Easy.
sure.
So before we move on, Mrs. K and Neha, how is it? Especially from reading the data, well, reading the data from the SD card using Excel to plot the graph.
First, I will have to get the connector, so I will work on this
Oh, true.
today
True,
and
true,
tomorrow
true.
morning probably, and check if something I will ask question tomorrow. But I work with Excel and with transferring data, so hopefully it will be
Wait.
fine.
Okay,
Yeah, the process all makes sense.
Yes, definitely.
Perfect.
okay.
All right.
Neha? Sorry, you're on mute.
Yes, actually it was just loose connection, so I
Oh.
re-uploaded the code, so it should be
Perfect.
fine.
All right.
Did it make,
And we always
did,
make sure-
did it all make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. A fun fact is if you actually don't need to re-upload the code, fortunately, if you just reset, yeah, you can just click the start button again and start the experiment.
Because the code is already on your Arduino board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just have a quick question for you. Are we going to use the expansion kit? I mean the breadboard?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what we'll start doing tomorrow for the rest of the week, really.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we are going to use the same convection kit, and we are just going to attach a breadboard to it now.
So eventually what it's gonna look like is we're gonna build it piece by piece. Actually, I'm still sharing my screen. Let me stop sharing. Eventually, your kit is gonna look like this to run the experiment. Where instead of the shield plugged in here, I have all of the wires connected to a breadboard that are all still connected to the stuff in the kit.
Yeah, and as you can see, the shield is on its own. No using the shield anymore.
Yeah, that's the end goal of the whole program.
So is that what we are going to do tomorrow?
Yeah, we'll start doing that tomorrow. It will take us 2-3 classes, 2-3 days to get through all of it. So we'll start that tomorrow. But last thing before we wrap up for today. So when you do this with students are going to also upload their code to the Quest portal. So quickly just log into the Quest portal to show what it looks like.
So the website here is kit.questforspace.com. And this is where you are able to actually have students upload their code to actually run on the ISS. It should be on that nice little handout or the box or the piece of paper in the box.
And then for each of the kits, you'll see free upload code that will be provided. And that's what you use when you're working with your students to upload your code and run it on the ISS and do the comparison.
So in here, I obviously have quite a few experiments already running. But you can customize the experiment, having it turn on and off the heater however long you want. You can turn on the fan if you want. And then delay for
We caught him slipping.
30 seconds. However you want to customize the experiment, you do that. And then you can just download the code. You can download it, paste it into Arduino. It'll still run. And then you can actually upload this code to the ISS as well, where it'll run and you can get data back and you can compare and contrast what it looks like in space and on Earth. So there's a very brief crash course on the
It's a very brief crash course
Yeah.
on the
on
portal.
the portal. Thank you. Words escaped me.
Does the point of the portal make sense? I think that's the key thing. Mrs. K, Neha?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Cool.
So we'll wrap up here today and tomorrow, like I mentioned, so if you look at, everyone used the shield. Now we're going to remove the shield and learn how to build the circuit and the different circuits that make up that shield. That's what we'll start with tomorrow.
Question?
So I'm not sure, like, it wasn't, the graphics are really changing, so I tried doing it without the cover and just seeing if this thing does, but it's not heating up at all.
Okay.
Okay, so if no other questions, we'll see you, Mrs. Neha, tomorrow. Same time, same Zoom link, Zoom room.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Yeah, so I got the data properly this time.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Thank
All
you.
right, bye, thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.